All right, page 8 here. What do you get for x in number 1? Okay, you should get 10 for x after you do Pythagorean theorem. All right, and then what do you get for the area of the triangle? Okay, since the 6 and the 8 are connected at the 90, that's my base and my height. So I go 8 times 6 divided by 2 to get the area. And then what do you get for the perimeter? You should get 24. Okay, when you add 8 plus 6 plus 10 equals 24. And I will check number 3, which was also from your homework as well. So what would you get for that third side of the triangle? Okay, so now we are solving for a leg. So it should be x squared, since they've made it to 90. X squared plus 34 squared equals 46 squared. Now we are subtracting instead of adding. We should get x equals 31. Now go ahead and find the area and the perimeter. All right, for number 3. Okay, for the area, it'd be 31 times 34, because they made it to 90, divided by 2. Area equals base times height divided by 2. All right, we should get 111 for the perimeter. Now let's go down to number 5. Now this one was a little bit different. All right, in order to find this x here, I have to use numbers that make a right triangle. So if you trace this, okay, 10 does not make a right triangle, but this is cut in half, which makes that 5. All right, so go ahead and set that up and solve for x. Okay, again, these are meeting at a right angle, so I'd have to use the 5 in the x. 5 squared plus x squared equals 13 squared. I would subtract to get x equals 12 for that. Okay, then for the area, go ahead and plug that stuff in and see what you would get for the total area. The total area, so of this whole triangle in the green. All right, for this, I would use the full 10, because for the whole triangle, it would be 10 times 12 divided by 2. So that would give me 60 feet squared. Okay, some of you guys might, if you use the 1/2 or the 12 times 5 divided by 2, okay, you are just finding the area of this triangle right here. You can do that, which would give you 30. But since there's 2 of those triangles, you have to go backwards and then multiply that by 2 to get the whole thing. So you can do it that way, but I would just use the whole base here at the bottom. Okay, and the perimeter, this is 10, 13, and then since these are equal, this is also 13. 10 plus 13 plus 13, which would be 36 feet. All right, now I'm going to have you guys do 2, 4, and 6. You can pause it right now if you want to, but I will have you enter your final answer for the area of each one. And actually, I may ask you for the perimeter as well. So what is the area for number 2? Okay, for Pythagorean theorem, here's my 90. I need 1/2 base times height. This would be x squared plus 16 squared equals 34 squared. You get x equals 30. Then I would do 30 times 16 divided by 2 to find the area. And my perimeter is just all of these added together. All right, go ahead and do number 4. And let me know what you get for the perimeter. Okay, for the area, we can just use the numbers that are here because I know what's connected at the 90. All right, so that'd be 1/2. So 40 times 28 divided by 2 because those are connected at the 90. And then to find the perimeter, which would have to go all the way around, like so, I'd have to do Pythagorean theorem to find that other side. So if I add all of these numbers together, 28, 40, 48.8, that should give me my 116.8. And then, of course, the last one. Go ahead and find the area and the perimeter of that one. Okay, so I'd have to take half of this. So in order to find this height right here, base times height connected at the 90, I'd have to use this right triangle. So I have to do 11 squared plus x squared equals 61 squared. Then you subtract, that should give you 29. Then I need 1/2 base of my whole triangle times the height. So I'd have to do 22 times 29 divided by 2 to give 319. And then add up all the sides would give me 144. All right, now we're going to do a couple more of these on page 9. This is y equals mx plus b. So I have an x and a y here. Parallel. What kind of slopes do parallel lines have? What kind of slopes? Okay, so it's the same slope. So for this one, it's just 1x. So my slope's going to be 1. Same slopes. So I'm going to plug this into y equals mx plus b. I have my x and my y. So I will have 2 equals m, which is 1 times 2x, plus b. Always solve for b. 2 equals 2 plus b. And this is kind of crazy, because b is actually equal to 0. It cancels out. So my final answer is just y equals m, which is 1, times x. You can put a plus 0 there, but you don't have to. Y equals x would go through that. All right, we are not going to do number 2. Hey, but if I go to number 3, parallel. So what would my slope be of my new line? What should my slope be of my new line? Slope is 3. Same slope, parallel, same slope. This slope is 3. So now I have my x and my y. So I could plug it in. Y, negative 4, equals m, which is 3, x, which is 2, plus b. Multiply. Subtract. And I get y equals 3x minus 10. Notice, I'm not using this 2. Always solve for b. All right. Now go ahead and solve number 4 and tell me what you get. Okay. So then if this slope is negative 2/5, I can still plug in my negative 1 and my 2 like I did here. Multiply these two. You can get decimals. Negative 0.8. We did that in class the other day. Add 0.8. Negative 1 plus 0.8. Make sure you use your calculator on that. You should get negative 0.2. So you get negative 2/5 x minus 0.2. And now our last ones. Okay, I'm actually going to show you number 6. X and y here. Perpendicular. What kind of slopes do perpendicular lines have? Another symbol you would see is something like this, that upside down T. That means perpendicular. This slope, so yeah, what kind of slopes do perpendicular lines? Okay, they are the opposite reciprocals. So you flip them, flip, and change sign. This is the same as the opposite reciprocal. Okay, so this slope here is just 1. So 1x up here. So the opposite, so if it's like 1 over 1, to flip it, well, if you flip 1 over 1, it's still 1 over 1. But then I have to make it negative. So it's going to be a negative 1. But then I can plug it in. My y is negative 1. My y. My m is negative 1 from here. My x is 4 plus b. Negative 1 equals negative 4 plus b. Then I can add it to the other side. So I get y equals negative 1x plus 3. Yay. All right, so for this last one, it says perpendicular again. What would my new slope be? New m, what is my new slope equal to if this one is 1/8? If I flip 1 over 8, it becomes an 8 over 1, and then I can make it negative. Okay, opposite reciprocal. Flip it, change the sign. And then what would you get for your final answer? Alrighty, you should get, when you plug all your stuff in, new slope is negative 8. Plug in negative 5 and x. You should get negative 8x plus 3. Nice job.